Hey guys, you are currently in my kitchen and that beeping noise is the chai that I'm heating up. Sorry for that, but I'm a really slow hot drinker, not because I can't handle the heat, but because I just hate the thought of sculling a cup of soy milk. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Today, the video that I'm going to be doing is general household items that I think you could probably level up to make your house feel a little bit more elevated. So I'm going to be talking about things, very exciting things. Well, actually, I find them exciting because I think often general household items go overlooked, but things like a dishcloth. I hate this, but anyway, I'm going to give you some options for things that you can get to make your space feel a little bit more elevated and, I don't know, just put together. So yeah, I'm going to take you into the bedroom because that's really where the best lighting is at this time of the day, and I don't really want to stand at my kitchen counter while I do this, so let's go. Okay, so we are here on my bedroom floor to talk about general household items, as I mentioned. So the first thing I want to speak about is something that I think gets overlooked quite often, which is a salt and pepper shaker. I don't know why people buy salt and pepper shakers from their local supermarket and that's the end of the story. They leave the salt and pepper in the containers that they come in, like this. I get that it's a convenience thing and like who really wants to think about that and who wants to actually like think about buying a pepper and salt shaker, but there are so many cool options out there. So here are some that I think would be good alternatives. Starting off with your classic wooden pepper grinder, salt and pepper grinder. You can get a little set, and even if you just jump on Etsy, there are so many different options that are cool, and you can actually have them on display on your kitchen counter and enjoy looking at them and enjoy using them, because I know I enjoy using mine. You can get these really cool custom ones in the select timber that you want, or even the vintage brass one. We got that as a gift for my mum as a housewarming gift, and it ages really nicely over time. So why not invest in a cool pepper grinder or a salt dish? There are so many things you can use for salt dishes or even a pepper dish. Some of the ones that I like, I have just like a little wooden timber one that I got from Muji. It was like literally $5, and I just bought some sea salt and put it in there, and I love it. And it's definitely much nicer than having those plastic grinder things that you get from the supermarket. Or you can get even like really cute resin ones that are really nice, pop a color. Just leave it on your dining room table or in your kitchen, wherever you use it the most, and it just looks so much nicer than using, you know, as I said, just like a plastic salt and pepper shaker from the supermarket. Anyway, something to think about. Next up is the humble soap bottle or soap bar. There's a lot of soaps out there that are bougie and expensive, and I want to say that you should consider investing in one because, for example, Aesop, a classic go-to bottle, it's about $39 I think, or $40, which yes is a bit of a stretch for a soap bottle, but the thing is you only have to buy it once. It's an investment. You only have to buy it once, and then when you're done with the soap, you can then buy a refill from the supermarket or somewhere cheap and refill it, and you still have that aesthetic of the Aesop bottle in your kitchen or bathroom or wherever you want to display it, and it's a one-time thing as opposed to having, you know, a generic bottle of soap on your windowsill. I think like it's honestly these little things, the little details that make your space feel a little bit more expensive, a little bit more elevated, and just nicer to look at. Here are some other alternatives. You can get, you know, diptyque soap for a Mecca, or there's so many different lifestyle homeware brands out there now that you can buy really nice aesthetic bottles of soap from. And as I said, it's a one-time investment, and then you can just reuse the bottle and you don't have to buy it again. If you're not into bottles of soap, then buy a really nice block of soap, something that you can have on display. Nice color, not something that you feel like you have to hide away. You can get them just about anywhere. Next up, I want to talk about your kitchen counter dishcloth / dish utensils. I know that you're thinking it's just a rag that I use to wipe up dirty food on the bench or wipe the table down. Why do I need to get something nice? Well, I'm here to say to you that dirty dishcloth is quite often sitting on people's drying rack sink, and it's somewhat offensive to look at because the ones you pick up from the supermarket are pretty heinous. And again, spend just a couple more dollars getting something that is maybe reusable or better quality that you're going to have for longer, and that's also nice to look at. So you can get these really nice cotton ones. These are from, I think, from Simon Johnson, and you can get a pack of 3. I've had mine for ages, and you can chuck them in the washing machine when they need to be washed, and it's better than buying dishcloths from the supermarket that you're just going to use a few times and then throw out. Again, when it comes to dish sponges and things, you can get these really nice copper ones, or I actually don't mind the general, like the silver scourer ones. I actually think they can look nice, or you can get the colored sponges, just something a little bit more interesting. And again, these are the things I like to think about, and I think these are the things that make a space feel a little bit more interesting and considered and thoughtful, and that's just my personality. If I'm going to buy something for my home, I'm going to make sure I like it no matter what it is, even if it is a dishcloth. So that's just something to think about. And there's so many options out there now. All you have to do is do a little bit of research, go to your local homeware store, and I guarantee you're going to be able to find something that is way nicer than a supermarket dishcloth. Chopping boards. Okay, chopping boards. You know those plastic chopping boards that everyone has that's like assorted into the type of food that you're going to be using? So for example, there's like a red one for meat, or like a blue one for fish, a green one for vegetables. I understand that they're practical. I have those and I use them regularly. However, I do not have them on display because they are hideous. If you're trying to elevate your home, these aren't really the things that are going to do that. So can I please encourage you to go out and buy a wooden chopping board, whatever that may be. You can get them on Etsy, either vintage, which I don't know, you might have a thing about buying vintage chopping boards. I see that, like old food and stuff. Yeah, okay, I get that. But there are options on Etsy that are for like rustic French inspired wooden chopping boards or cheese boards that you can get new, and you can get some really nice options of wood end block chopping boards, which are like the ones with the squares, the wood block squares, which I really like, kind of butcher's block style, or again, the French inspired sort of rustic cheese display boards, which you can use as a chopping board. But anything is better than the colored plastic chopping boards. And I'm not saying to get rid of them, I'm saying just put them away when you're not using them and keep the wooden ones out, because that is going to make your kitchen feel so much more elevated and aesthetically pleasing. So if you know where I'm coming from, click on the links below for some options. So next up is a bit of a luxury item, and it is candles. Candles and incense and things that make your home feel a little bit nicer, smell a little bit nicer, look a little bit nicer. And I think there are some really nice options out there that you can get that are going to make your home feel a little bit more expensive, a little bit more adult, and I think it's worth investing in it. I'm a big believer in having things in your life that are going to make you feel better, that are going to make you enjoy coming home to your space and enjoy being in your space. Here are some options of some candles you can get. You can get these really beautiful diptyque ones, and again, yes, they are a bit of an investment, but when they're done, you can use them and still have them on display. For example, I use my empty candle containers as makeup brush holders, and I still really love the look of that and have them on display, or you can use them to store whatever, in your bathroom, in your bedroom, jewelry, it's really up to you. But there's just so many nice options out there, as opposed to, you know, those glass house candles that stink when you walk past the shop. It's like that sickly sweet smell, and the packaging's not very nice. I say if you're going to invest in a candle, you may as well get one you like and that's nice to look at, smells good, and can be reused for whatever purpose that you intend for it to be used for. Similarly, you can go out and buy some candlesticks. That's obviously a much cheaper option to elevate your space and have them in your kitchen, your living room. And again, it's just so much nicer to have candlelight as opposed to blaring artificial lights. Purchasing some incense and a nice incense holder. I feel like a lot of people either love or hate incense, and I get that because it can be, it's got a particular smell, and it can be kind of strong in the space. But if you do like it, here are some options. This is one of the incense that I have that I really love, and it goes a long way. It's a little bit expensive, but it comes with like 100 sticks, and I've honestly had it for like 18 months and I have so much of it left. Or, you know, even an oil burner, and buy some nice oils that you can burn, which I think is also a little bit more subtle. And again, something to think about. I'm not saying go out and buy all of these pieces. I don't think that's necessarily feasible, or you can pick and choose, but these are just my suggestions for little things that you can add to your home that I think you know, are things that you look at every day but maybe don't realize that you look at them every day. The next thing that I want to talk about that is maybe not necessarily an everyday item, but something that I think is going to add color and interest to your space is coffee table books. And I know that coffee table books can get a little bit up there in price, which is why I think it's also a really good option to pick up some vintage books, no matter what they are. You don't have to necessarily find books that you love to read. It's really also just like a display technique. So if you find some books in your local thrift store where you really like the colors on them, or the pictures, or the covers are really nice and you're drawn to them, that's definitely something that you can do to add color and interest to your space in a sort of cost-effective way, by just having them a little stack on your coffee table or on some open shelving. It really is a great way to add a bit more interest to your space, especially if you have a neutral palette going on in your home. So here are some coffee table books that I think could look really nice in your space. And I mean, there's a million out there that you can look at. Go to your local bookstore if you want to buy them new, and just select a few and see what they look like, and see what they look like together. And you know, coffee table books and books in general are so interchangeable. If you get sick of looking at them, you can swap them out, buy new ones, sell them, give them to a friend, whatever you want to do. If there's one thing that I will say, please do not go out and buy that bloody Tom Ford book that everyone has, that for whatever reason everyone has in their mind that by having that in your home it means that your house is like super expensive and luxe, because it doesn't. And I'm just going to say that because that book is tacky and I hate it, and you can do so much better. So please don't get that Tom Ford book if you know the one I'm talking about. Storage baskets, a very exciting topic. Yes, it is for me. I want to talk about how your everyday storage baskets can actually be nice. So I know that it's very tempting to go to your local hardware store, or, sorry, my neighbor's watching me film. I know it's very tempting to go to IKEA or your local hardware store and buy just like those plastic tubs for storage, but really I think we're a bit beyond that. I understand doing that in, you know, university or when you're a teenager growing up, because maybe these are the things that are like, it's all you can afford or it's whatever, but there are so many nice options of things you can get that are still cost effective. And you know, if you're going to have storage containers on display, they may as well be nice. So I think any sort of like seagrass or rattan or cane bamboo container always looks really nice, no matter what the aesthetic of your house is. And you can get really simple ones that just look nice, and they're neat and they're not plastic, and they're still really functional. So that's something to think about. You can get them in really nice colors. Like I really love this green one. I think this is really interesting, and green being one of my favorite colors, that's something that I would like to look at. So you can also get these really cool like bag style ones. I think they're like a woven sort of bag container. I think these ones are from Hay, and I really like them. I really like the colors. I think, again, it's an opportunity to have some fun with color and pattern and see what you can come up with. You know, you can mix and match. You can have a few containers like this and mix it with sort of a rattan one, and I think they go really nicely together. Or like this is a really nice rattan one. It's this like cylindrical sort of shape, which is a bit more organic. Having fun with it, I think. And obviously you can go down the route of just the wooden crate style storage boxes, which I don't mind. I think they're nice. I don't think they're amazing. I think, again, you can have a little bit more fun with this item. But yeah, again, there's so many options out there on Amazon, Kmart, wherever. Just, it's a matter of just looking around and considering what you're buying, as opposed to just getting, you know, an old crate from Bunnings. The last thing I want to talk about is dog beds or pet beds if you have a pet. My mum has 2 dogs and I love them. I don't have any pets, but this is actually kind of a big item that's always on display, and when you get an ugly dog bed, it kind of can ruin the aesthetic of a whole room. I know that my mum initially had a dog bed like this, and she had just renovated her house, and the living room was really beautiful, and there was that dog bed there, and that's all I could look at, and it just ruined the space. So it's definitely something to consider when getting a bed for your furry little friend. So there's a lot of different options, obviously different price ranges. So you can get ones like this one, this timber one, which is around, I think, $190, which is a lot. But if you're willing to invest in it, go for it. Again, you can get these really cool kind of woven ones, which I think are really nice. And it's really up to you. You have to consider the aesthetic of your home and what you think is going to work best, and also how much you're willing to spend, obviously. There's heaps on Etsy, like these ones. There's some really cool fabric dog beds. Again, another opportunity to have fun with your interiors and have fun with print and pattern and color, and why not? Don't take it too seriously. You can still have things that are fun and playful but look good, as opposed to just a generic dog bed that you get from Pet Barn. And another alternative is to make one. I've seen some really cool DIY projects where people buy like old grain sack bags, and you can just get some filling for the inside and turn it into a dog bed, and that looks really cool. Or get like a thick fabric, a vintage fabric, or from your local fabric store, and you can sew it up, or get someone to make it if you don't have a sewing machine, and you will have your very own custom dog bed. I encourage you to look into it if you've been thinking about getting a new dog bed, or thinking about getting a little angel, a little doggy, or a big doggy, whatever. Something to think about. And yeah, so that is my video on general household items that I think you could consider purchasing to elevate your home, make your home feel a little bit more interior designed and styled. And again, you don't have to go out and buy all of these items, but I think it's a good jumping off point, a good starting point if you're starting from scratch or wanting to update your general home interiors. I would recommend looking at these items in your home and seeing if there's any that can be updated to something a little bit more interesting. I hope that's been helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be uploading new videos every week. And thanks again for watching. Until the next video, have a great day. Bye.